A while ago, I shared my video in which I was showing you how to solve the entire Goethe B1 lesson sample paper. And so many of you found that video helpful. And most of you said that after watching that video, you have started scoring higher than your usual score in your lesson exam. And I thought, why not do the same thing for Hören exam? Because we all know it is more difficult than any other parts of the exam for most of the students. So without a delay, let's quickly and see how to solve your Hören sample paper more effectively so that you could score higher. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Learn German with Turbo. I hope your preparations for your Goethe exams are going well. So before we jump into solving our Hören sample paper for today, we are going to first look into some things which are very important. Number 1, you should know the pattern of the exam very thoroughly. Number 2, you need at least 18 out of 30 to pass the exam. Number 3, there are some mistakes that we make during our preparation which makes us lose a lot of marks during our exam. Something as simple as practicing with earphones or sitting in an absolutely quiet room is going to make you lose a lot of marks. And if you want to learn how to prepare effectively, I have talked about that already in my previous video in detail, which I'm going to link in the description box below. This is what your Teil 1 looks like. In this, you have 5 sections called Text 1, Text 2, Text 3, 4 and 5. And each text has 2 questions. So you have a total of 10 questions in Teil 1. And under each text, you have the first question as richtig oder falsch and your second question is in MCQ format. Now, you need to remember 2 things before you approach these questions. Number 1, none of the information is going to be given to you directly. And number 2, you can use a lot of common sense and general understanding of the world around you. That way, you can analyze the options and there is a very high probability of you marking the right answer. You're going to see how this happens as we solve the question. So let's first look at the question number 1, in which it says der Termin von Frau Stein is postponed. Now, there is a 50-50% chance whether the meeting was postponed or it happened on the same time. Now remember, obviously, they're not going to give you the information directly. Instead, they're going to give you some kind of explanation which will hint whether the meeting happened in the future or it happened at the same time. Now look at question number 2. Frau Stein should. What should she do? She should bring her chip cutter along. She should pay 10 euros or should she fall back again? Now remember, for MCQ type of questions in your B1 exam, you will hear that all the 3 options being said by the speaker. This is to confuse you. But then there are some words like nicht, nur, immer, manchmal. These kind of words help you cross out the wrong answer. Let's look at an example. Let's look at the transcript of this question. Here the speaker says that Dr. Becker needs to perform an operation. So she is requesting Frau Stein to come back on Friday at 2 p.m. Now what does this indicate? They have given you a reason that Dr. Becker is not available and that's how she's asking her to come on the future day, which directly means the meeting is postponed. Now they have also mentioned 10 euro, which is one of the options. There is a word nicht zahlen also, so which means they have used one of the options, but that is nicht. So that's not the right answer. Look at the next sentence. It says, you please inform me if you have time on Friday at 2 p.m. So this means she is asking to call her again, call her back. So this makes your Zurück anrufen as the right answer. But if you notice, they have also used the word chip cutter, but it is used in some other context. So you can notice that all of these 3 options were said by the speaker. But since the context was wrong and only one was said in the right context, we are going to mark that as the right answer. And here, yes, the meeting was postponed, so we are going to say rischt. Let's look at another example. Here in question number 3, Mr. Thomas is informing Miss Brahms about a new insurance rate. Now, one of the 2 things can happen. Either the rates he's talking about are not new, or the rates he's talking about are not Versicherungsrates, they are some other kind of. This way, when you read the question, you also need to estimate what they might be asking about. This way, you can easily focus only on the information that is needed while you hear the conversation. And in question number 4, Mr. Thomas wants Frau Brahms to sign a new contract, or he wants some certificates from her, or he wants her to call. Remember, again, these 3 options are going to appear in the conversation. So here you see he is calling from HGG Versicherung. So which means yes, these are Versicherung tariffs, but are they new or old is another kind of question they can ask. So here you see he's saying that she's already a customer. These are not some new kind of contract he's talking about. It is something already so the option is falsch. Then what does he want her to do? He wants her to bring certificates which are missing from her document. And then he is also talking about calling. But here you see that he's saying you call only if you have a doubt. All the three options were used, but the only correct option is he needs the missing certificates. So this way, when you analyze and listen carefully, you can mark the right answer. Now, if you remember towards the beginning of the video, I was saying that you can solve a lot of questions using common sense and your analytical thinking. And I was talking about these kind of questions. See, you need to remember that the information given in these two questions or in the two questions under the same text are always related to each other. They are connected and they are a part of the same theme, same conversation. So you cannot expect two different kind of sentences for the same conversation. So for example, here you see he's talking about event tips for München, and in question number 6 they are talking about a traffic jam. Now if somebody is giving you tip for something, might not really be talking about the reason of a jam. So I feel there is a high possibility of this being false. So I will mark it. For the meanwhile, before I listen to the audio, I'm going to still mark it as false and I will confirm it when I listen to the audio. And then yes, the jam can be due to any of the one reasons. We cannot really guess. So if you look at the speaker, he is saying that there was a jam and then he keeps on talking about the traffic jam. So we clearly see that the information was definitely not about the tip or events in München, and it was only about a traffic jam, and it was more of a information that is given in the news or a radio rather than some fun tip. Now let's look at tile number. This one is a little trickier because you only get to hear the audio one. But the good part is that you get 60 seconds to read the entire text before you listen to your audio. So how do I effectively use those 60 seconds? I just do not read the questions. I also mark the answers that I feel might be the correct answers. So here your analytical thinking and your common sense comes into play. So for example, if you look at question number 11, they say the museum is completely full, partly closed, or it's quite empty. So it can be one of these three things and you cannot honestly guess. So we are going to leave it to that. But in question number 12, it says that the guide is going to show the tourists the entire exhibition, the main part of it, or the special part of it. Now think about it. If you want to show the entire thing, would you want to highlight that? Not really. You are highlighting it because you're going to either show just the main part or just the special part. So I feel the answer might be one of. And then when you look at next question 13, they say where is the meeting point Amnakmitag. So it can either be entrance, cloakroom or cafe, which is not that well managed. It's full of stuff and it possibly might have a toilet. I don't think that anybody would ask you to come meet there. Instead, you would be meeting either in the entrance or cafe. So these are my two possible high probable options. Next, question number 14. The exhibition deals with Oktoberfest, the food or history. Now you tell me, since this exhibition is being attended by possibly high number of natives, why would you want to talk about Oktoberfest especially? That too in a museum doesn't really make sense. So I feel either it's about the food or it's about the history. And I feel it's more about history because it's in a museum. But there is also a chance it might be about food because possibly the natives might be from other state who want to come to visit this state and enjoy and learn about the unique food of this place. So these are my two high probable options. Now for question number 15, you see he is recommending them what? Restaurant, cafe or beer cart. Honestly, it can be any of these one things. You cannot. Now you want to see how many of these answers are correct. Now you see these are the correct answers. Now if you look at the correct answers and what we had marked, one of the options that we have marked are the correct answer. So now you see, without even listening to the text, I could mark the correct answer with a 50% probability. So suppose due to some reason I was not able to get the right answer by listening to the audio, what you could do is mark one of the options, any one of the options that you think are probable. Suppose I was not able to listen to the answer for question number 12, I might have randomly marked B or C, and there was a very high chance that my answer was correct. And after that, about the flow of the question, remember, the person who is speaking will give all the information in the same flow as the questions are going. None of the information will be jumbled. So your answer for 11 will come first, 12 next, like that. So you did not have to get confused if you heard any information about question number 11 towards the end. That information is irrelevant. Your information about the answer of 11 will be towards the beginning only. Okay? And then look for the pauses. Wherever the speaker is giving a pause, that's a clue for you that you need to switch to the next question. So that also helps you keep in track with the audio. Now let's look at tile number 3.